All right, everybody. Please welcome my friend and colleague on the board of American Promise, Cheryl Clyburn Crawford.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Cheryl Clyburn Crawford, and I live in Boston and serve as the executive director to Mass Vote and a very proud member of the American Promise Education Fund. So the Massachusetts Citizens Commission was created by a supermajority win in a 2018 ballot initiative with 72% of the vote. And after a ballot process where 1,000 volunteers collected more than 120,000 signatures and earned nearly 2 million votes, over 100 people completed public applications to serve on the Volunteer Citizens Commission. 15 members, including me, I am very proud to say, were appointed by a cross-partisan group of elected state officials. The voters charged the commission with investigating the problem of unlimited money in elections, examining constitutional solutions, making recommendations as to constitutional amendment language and process, and determining methods of engaging the public and elected officials in advancing the constitutional amendment to ratification. The volunteer commissioners came from different walks of life, political viewpoints, and backgrounds. But we united and we worked together to hold more than 20 public hearings in every region of the state, met with experts and elected representatives, created a publicly accessible record of testimony, facts, and data, and issued 2 reports with key recommendations for actions that were delivered to the public and state and federal representatives. Now it is time for the action. In the summer of 2022, following grassroots demand, the legislature passed a new law, extending the Citizens Commission to December 31, 2025, enhancing public process for new volunteer commissioners to be appointed, and to continue to work both within Massachusetts and with other states to move the amendment ahead to passage by Congress and ratification by the states. Commission members put in countless hours serving the people of Massachusetts and the nation, and set an example and a model not only for what the people of other states can do to advance the 4-hour freedom constitutional amendment, but for effective and civil debate, representation, and self-government overall. We thank the members of the commission and all citizens who applied to serve, and are pleased to present this award for citizens' leadership, civic courage to the commission. Please welcome commission leaders Bill Kilmartin and Novel Alexander, who's trying to get here, and Representative Carmine Gentile to accept this award.
For a picture.
For a picture?
For a picture.
Okay.
Picture, Cheryl. No, it's all right. Yeah, please. Of course.
Very nice speech, Cheryl. Thank you very much. On behalf of the commission, happy to accept this. My co-chair, Kostas Penagopoulos, came down and couldn't make it. Naval is stuck on the subway. And Cheryl did forget to mention that Jeff is also a member of the Massachusetts Citizens Commission.
What can I say?
So we took a 2-year hiatus. To use a sports analogy, I'd like to think that the original manifestation of the commission, we made a first down, but our work is not yet done. If you wanted to type into your search engine the Massachusetts Citizens Commission, it'll bring you to mass.gov, which is the state website, and we have some pages there, copies of our reports and our membership and so forth. We're going to revitalize, and so we're looking for ideas and advice from other states and groups like American Promise. So please contact us either through the website or just grab Carmen, myself, Cheryl, Jeff. Let's exchange email information, and let's get more first downs, and eventually let's score. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Congratulations to the Citizen Commission. We have a couple of other awards, well-earned awards. The next one is for our friend who could not be here today, Leela Means. And we're proud to present this award. Joining me, this is not Leela Means. This is another great friend and friend of Leela Means and partner in the California American Promise work, Laura Nittmeyer, herself an award winner at a previous National Citizen Leadership Conference. So we're here to share something about our friend Leela Means, who in many ways was American Promise volunteer and member number one. You know, it's not quite as lucrative as being Google employee number one, but it is the same kind of vision and good luck, I would say, that she was the first one to answer the call. Back in 2015, my wife Nancy and I had been all over the country on a book tour. We got from Montana to Wyoming, Georgia, West Virginia, New England to Wisconsin, Illinois, Arizona, California, all over the country. Cities, rural areas, red, blue, as they call them, but we found that wasn't really so, as much as the media would have us believe. And wherever we went, we were finding the same kind of thing we're seeing here today, which is Americans knowing there's something seriously gone wrong, and this is back in 2015, and finding a vacuum of a place to go to help fix it, where we could unite. And so we came back and started talking to folks. Hey, what can we do? And the idea of building American Promise to actually get it done and be the place where Americans can unite for a big, big solution like this. We put out a call to some of the folks we'd met along the road, and one of those was Leela Means, who had been working on a ballot initiative like some of the ones we heard about today. We met her in California. She had a full-time job. She was raising kids. She was doing an accounting certification. She was organizing responses to the climate crisis. I remember she had a biodiesel vehicle running on restaurant waste. So she was pretty busy. And she was gathering signatures that made California one of the first ballot states to get behind this constitutional amendment. And yet, when we put out the call for people to come across the country from her perspective to Concord, Massachusetts, to kind of kick the tires. Is this something that they would get engaged with? Is it something that would work for them? And again, it was a wide mix of people. The first call we got to say, absolutely yes, I'll be there, was Leela Means, and she flew a red-eye flight there and a red-eye flight back. And it was the beginning of the great work she has done. And my friend Laura Nittmeyer is going to tell you a little bit more to bring it up to date from 2015.
Yep, that sounds like a lot like Leela. I took that picture, that one. Okay. Sorry. It's a special moment I get to share with you. My appreciation of my friend and partner in American Promise, California, Leela Means, who is winning a Citizen Leadership Award this year. We found each other at the second NCLC. Each of us had started American Promise associations, and I'd already sold my house in New Jersey, actually, and I was on my way back to California. And it was the end of June 2018, and I could not wait to get started working with her again when I arrived in August. It's tempting to spend this time here talking about our friendship and the fun we've had, and these are some of the key ingredients of our work together. But you know, the magic that turned our basically 1 hour together on most Sundays into 9 American Promise events that first year is really just an example of her leadership. And her example is a gift we can all receive, and I'd like us to recognize that. So what is that leadership? Well, for one, it's been a steadfast, long-term commitment and reliability. Who among us hasn't had more stops and starts and interruptions of our activities on mission lately? And the lately has become now a few years. Not Leela. In her devotion to cause and my confidence that she is always there has not wavered for a moment. How about inspiration and passion? Now we're getting to that Sunday magic. A few minutes with Leela, even on the phone, winds me up for just hours of organizing. A special energy flows from that. Then there's Leela's integrity, of course. At her core, and I think we also know others like this, probably each of you know someone in your lives. At her core, Leela sees through today's immeasurable filters of party and place. But the ideals that we all hold for people are clear in her mind with the balance that she shows to all of us. And from that, it's trust that easily follows. And then there's creativity and vision to reach for higher, ambitious goals. That's really important if your state has 52 members of Congress. Can we reach these goals? Yes, we can, because we can see them. In many ways, we're not just joking about putting a billboard on I-5, en route to Los Angeles. So thank you, Leela, for our 4 years together, but even more for your long-haul leadership on an incredible mission, amending the U.S. Constitution. May all of us be so inspired. So I'm sorry she can't be with us today in person, but we know you're watching on the live stream. So thanks so much, and I'll see you soon.
All right, Lauren. Laura's on her way with that award. So thank you for everything. Hey, you know this next one. You've heard him this morning. Matt Patsky, he's a visionary. He's now CEO of Trillium Asset Management. I heard this morning, now $6 billion, although this week it might be a little lower, but $6 billion under management at Trillium Asset Management in Boston. Matt was one of the first managers in the country to incorporate what we heard about this morning and have heard about elsewhere, environmental, social, and governance factors into investment strategies. And Trillium was one of the first firms in the country to enable investors to align their investments with their values like that. Matt was also one of the first business people to recognize what we had to do with this constitutional solution to the corruption of money in our political system. Several years ago, at the beginning of this journey, in Massachusetts, the legislature was considering being one of the first in the country to pass a resolution. As you heard, now 22 states have done so, but this was one of the first. And I asked Matt, would you come and testify in favor of a resolution calling for this constitutional amendment to fix the corruption of money in politics? And he immediately said, of course, I will. He comes over, this is a Massachusetts legislature, Bill and Representative Gentile and others in Massachusetts know how some of these hearings work. There might be, 40 different bills being heard. There's hearing room, no air conditioning. It's packed with maybe 200 people. There is no order or agenda to which, except that the chairman might suddenly announce your bill, and then you got to get ready to testify. So all day long that went on, and Matt stayed there. You may remember this. He stayed there all day long as the CEO of a huge global company, and he's sweating it out with all the other citizens for hours and hours. And he showed up early and stayed because he wanted to testify about why transparency, reasonable limits, getting control of campaign spending was so important and why we needed a constitutional solution. And he helped make it a success. I wrote to him to thank him. We did win that one. And I'm going to read his email reply. Well, democracy wasn't looking very pretty yesterday, he said. It's not the way I would run a meeting, but it was interesting to see the discussion on a range of issues. I was happy to help and willing to continue in any way you find my participation helpful. And he meant it. Since then, numerous times in state houses, in Congress, in op-eds and business panels like this morning, he has been with us every step of the way. Trillium Asset Management is a multi-year sponsor of this conference. And so he also is in for the long haul, and he's in it because he loves this country and its people and walks those values. So although he can get as frustrated as the rest of us about the inefficiencies of democracy, he's there to defend it. And Matt, for that, we are very grateful to you and to Trillium Asset Management. It's all in one piece, high quality test.
I know we're. So thank you, Jeff, and thank you to everyone from American Promise. The visionary leader actually who started Trillium was Joan Bavaria. So over 40 years ago, Joan founded Trillium looking to invest people's capital for their financial needs plus social and environmental impact in alignment with their values. And Joan really was working for that entire time from 1982 on trying to get money out of politics. Unfortunately, she lost her battle with cancer at the end of 2008. She would have been, I think, appalled at the Citizens United decision, but I know that she would have been incredibly proud of Trillium's partnership with American Promise in protecting democracy. So thank you all.
All right. Thank you, Matt.